Tennessee Back Porch is likely the longest running band in Erie history. Let me know if I'm wrong. Over the years, the band has gone through numerous members, but the husband-wife duo of Chris and Julie Moore has been constant since the beginning, although they were not married when the band started. Since Chris and Julie have their own radio program called Next to You on WQLN, they invited me to record this episode at their home studio, which was pretty cool for me. In it, we touch on the band's origin story and some of the highlights of the past 43 years for this musical couple. I hope you enjoy this episode, and I want to encourage you to like, subscribe, or rate this podcast on whatever app you use to listen.
All right.
We're used to interviewing other people.
That's right.
Sure.
That's right.
Okay. And we're rolling.
All right. So, welcome to my podcast in your attic.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Oh, thanks for having us. This is exciting.
Welcome to our studio.
Yeah, Chris and Julie Moore, thank you for being on the Erie Music History Podcast. I appreciate this.
Our pleasure.
This is exciting for me to come somewhere new.
All right. Come anytime.
All right.
This is a major hangout, by the way.
Oh, is it? Okay, for musicians in general, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. And you guys are used to recording next to you here, right?
Right. This is where we do it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is where we have all the guests, or, we've had Zoom meetings or whatever happens, if they can't be with us live. So.
Right. Mm-hmm. And we are very spaced apart. This is great.
Yeah. Doing our social distancing.
All right. And let's give your program a plug right off the bat.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sundays.
Saturdays.
No, it's Saturdays.
You tell me when it is.
Saturdays from 6 until 8
Okay.
in the evening, and then repeats at midnight
Okay.
until 2 on WQLN 91.3 FM.
So they can't go and stream that somewhere?
Not yet.
They
Okay.
can't, but it's also available all over the world if you go to Listen Live, WQLN.org. So,
okay.
yeah, it's right there. If you go to WQLN.org, there's a button that says Listen Live, and you can listen to NPR anywhere in the world.
Right.
Okay.
As it's happening.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it has.
Right.
Yeah, 6 to 8 Eastern Standard Time.
But I believe they're working on something to get it. So
Yeah, they are.
people
They
can
actually are.
Listen to past episodes.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
wondered, because I
Yeah.
plug it on all my episodes.
Oh, good.
And I just didn't know if
thank
there
you.
was an archive that people could listen to, so that's good to know.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, thank
Just
you.
here.
Yeah.
Well, we're not talking about that. We're
No.
talking about you two today.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Arguably, am I wrong in saying Tennessee Back Porch is the longest running band in this town?
Well, we're at 42 years.
79, right?
Well,
1980.
80, right at
80?
the beginning of 80.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
exact date was February 29th. It was a leap year.
Okay.
1980.
All right. And that was when you went to the ground round and
Right.
came up with that
Right.
name?
Right. Yes.
Or
Yes.
That was
Okay.
Yes, that's a story.
tell that story.
Well, it was Julie, myself, Bob Martin, and my brother Paul. We put together like 4 songs and went up there to audition.
At the ground round.
At the
They
ground
had-
round.
I didn't
yeah.
know they even had music.
Yeah, they
back
had like
then.
a little gazebo thing on the one side, and the bands played in that.
Okay.
Or, just little acts, But and then we're like, well, what if they ask for more? Because we only learned the 4 songs. And from there on out, it was just a big lie.
It was.
The whole
We
time because the
pretended.
manager's like,
Yeah.
hey, you guys are really good. Okay, I'm going to go get my book, and we'll set up some dates here, and I'll get the name of the band. And we're like, oh,
Whoops.
my.
Oh.
We don't have a
We
name.
don't have a name.
And the problem is Chris's brother Paul, he was
Right.
pretty much the spokesperson, and he was saying, oh, yeah, we have all this equipment. Oh, yeah, we've been playing forever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we have 4 hours of material.
Oh,
we
so
had
all lies.
We had
All
just,
lies,
We had just
yeah.
gotten together and just
Yeah, we just-
learned
That's
4
awesome,
songs.
yeah.
And even funnier, our bass player Bob Martin
Right.
did not know how to play bass. Chris taught him how to play those 4 songs by showing him where to put his fingers.
Yeah.
Oh
on the,
my
on
gosh.
the board. Yeah.
Because he was a guitar
On the-
player.
No, he was nothing. He was a singer,
okay, yeah.
performer that we had met at the Playhouse.
Met at the Playhouse.
Yeah, we all
Right,
met at the
yeah.
Erie
right.
Playhouse.
And he was my English teacher at Westlake.
Oh, my
yeah.
goodness.
Yeah,
right.
Wow.
Right, and and now he reads, music for the Playhouse shows. I
Right.
mean, playing bass for
Yep.
that and show music is really tough. And he's gone from me showing him where to put his fingers till now he knows how to.
Well, 40-some
really-
years to practice.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
But,
by the time the guy came back, Chris's brother Paul came up with that name, and we
we're
all
all
looked at him
like,
like,
what?
yeah, that's our name. But then we're like, oh my gosh, we have to change that name. So, and then the guy said we have to play the next month. Was it?
We had a month to get ready.
So we had to play
Yeah.
the whole.
Month of March,
Month of
but we started
March.
on the, yeah.
okay.
And we practiced almost every night, I would say, just about.
We did
And
learn.
every practice ended with, hey, we got to get this name thing straight. So, you know.
So not everybody was on board with it.
No, well, even the manager said, I don't know if I can fit that on our sign.
Yeah.
So yeah, the name
Yeah.
thing was really.
And I read in
Funny.
the paper that it said, did one of you, maybe him, was looking at all those old signs that were like on the
Yeah.
walls at the ground round? And that's how he came up with the name? Or
No, not
No?
that I don't know. He just thought our music is kind of like if we were just sitting on the back porch somewhere. And I don't know where he got Tennessee.
Back
None
porch
of us-
in Tennessee.
None of us have even been there. You know.
Okay.
So-
And what was the music at that time? Was it more bluegrass? Was it?
yeah, it was kind of bluegrass country, but we always put show
tunes.
in. I mean,
Because- Oh.
you like, you know,
Because
from
of
the
our
Best
Erie
Little
Playhouse.
Whorehouse in Texas.
Right,
Those
right.
songs that fit us, you know.
Right.
And that. We did Manhattan Transfer. We did.
Wow.
Yeah,
We
it was-
really
it-
worked a lot on harmonies.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
usually 4-part.
And it was the
Mm-hmm.
four
Just
piece,
4
right?
people,
Right.
yeah.
Just
No
4.
drummer.
Right.
And even when we'd play Sherlock's, like at the end of the evening, like guys would come up and go, you know, I've been listening all night, and I just realized you don't even
You don't
have
have
a
a
drummer.
drummer.
But you know, Julie would be doing percussions and everything, and we just kept things moving along. So
Well, that was what I was going to ask you is, you know, let's step back even before that. So I know you guys met at Hammett, right? Is that right? Or
Well-
did you meet at the Playhouse?
Playhouse,
The Erie
Playhouse.
Playhouse,
Right.
Doing the show Shenandoah.
right?
she and
Gotcha.
I, yeah, I had met Bob at the Erie Playhouse
Right.
before that, and then I got my brother involved down there. And
Yeah,
so,
there was a girl, Tammy Fedorovich Gandolfo.
yeah.
I'll say I love you, Tammy, because she's the one that asked me to play in the orchestra. So she said, we need a violinist.
Okay.
So that was my very first experience with the Erie Playhouse. And Chris was on stage playing one of the characters.
Okay.
And he happened to be doing a hospital charity show with a group of people and asked me to join him for that. And that's where it started. You know,
That was
like
out of
we
town,
became,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Brookville.
Yeah, we became really good friends, and
yeah.
the band then evolved in 1980, and then we got married in 87.
Right.
So
So it took a little while, and
Yeah, oh, yeah.
but you had played together for a number of years,
Right.
And so, Julie, were you as a violinist played what when you were in high school?
yeah,
grade
I
school?
started group lessons in my grade school at grade 5,
here in town, or
Mount Calvary.
all right, Mount
Yeah.
Calvary. Yeah, a little shout out there for
Yeah,
the east
there's
side.
a gentleman from the government that came and gave us all music tests, and I passed and ended up doing group lessons. And then when I was in 8th grade, he said, I really think you should get a private teacher. So my parents, boy, they were raising 8 kids, but they scraped up the money so I could have every Saturday morning. I took a bus to 26th and Peach, walked up the hill, and I took lessons from Salvatore Cressy.
Oh, okay.
Wonderful, wonderful teacher.
Yeah.
And that was throughout my high school years. I was in the Junior Philharmonic,
oh,
and then just kept playing, at church. And
right.
my sister and I did weddings, and then eventually now Chris and I do wedding ceremonies,
Sure,
and
sure.
stuff like that. But
So it wasn't like it wasn't a fluke that she asked you to join the Playhouse. She knew that you had been playing around,
Right.
and you were actively
Tammy
played for a long time.
went to our church, Mount Calvary.
Okay,
So,
all right.
yeah, so she hooked me up with the Erie Playhouse, so I'm very grateful.
Yeah. And you were acting in the Playhouse,
Right. Oh, yeah. We did lots of shows back in those days.
and
They
you
were
were
all the time.
20s, in your 20s.
Yep.
Yeah.
The first show that David Matthews, when he first came to town, in the summer, he did West Side Story. And that's where I met Bob
Okay.
Martin.
Yeah.
And he was playing Tony. And, I just went out and tried out and was Riff. And we did that show twice. 2 years later, we redid that show. But in between time, I had gotten the bug and, usually did something around there. Because I remember Chris Gronendahl, Chris?
I know the name.
Yeah. Well, he since went on to Broadway and all that stuff.
Okay.
And he was on our show. But he was playing the lead in Company, and they asked if I'd play guitar for that. And I go, sure. So it was anything I could do.
Right.
I was real happy.
Then, the band ended up doing the Broadway musical Pump Boys and
Right.
Bayonettes, probably 11 runs.
Right.
And that was a lot of
saw
fun.
that.
So
Yeah.
And
Loved
from a guitar standpoint, before you're an actor, you're a guitar player?
Oh, yeah.
I
The
mean,
usual, like everybody my age, we all wanted to be a Beatle.
Okay.
And actually, my brother started playing guitar, and there was one around the house, and
All right.
the more he said, don't touch that, the more I wanted.
You wanted to
play
play
it.
it, yeah.
So anytime he left the house, I wanted to play that guitar.
So the two of you played guitar
Yes.
over the years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ever in a band together before the Tennessee Back
No,
Porch? No.
That was the first time.
But you alluded to some bands when you were maybe younger that you
Oh yeah, like anybody, through
like Wyco dance bands,
yeah,
or stuff
that
like
kind
that?
of thing.
Yeah.
High school, all the dances after the games and stuff, things like that at McDowell.
So you went to McDowell?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
All those things, and then after we got out, we did a couple bars and stuff like that. But
What year
nothing was
graduate at McDowell?
70.
I interviewed a guy yesterday, Rick Carr from 1970 graduation class.
There you go.
Big school. You probably don't remember all those guys. but-
I forget how many we had in our class.
Sure.
It's like 630 or something.
Julie, you were McDowell or Villa or?
I went to East High.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
So you
go
were-
Warriors. But
Yeah.
now it's Erie East. Erie High, excuse
Erie
me.
High.
Yeah.
I graduated in 76. So
You
I was
may
a
be the first.
bicentennial senior.
Yeah, you may be the first East Warrior that I've had on the podcast.
Oh,
I've had a lot of McDowell guys, prep guys,
Oh, cool.
some academy.
Well,
but,
I'm honored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Carry the torch for him, man.
Yeah, and I as I heard, Chris was quite the heartthrob in high school, blonde hair,
Baloney.
blue eyes, and playing in a band.
he says,
Where'd it go?
Yeah,
I guess my eyes are still blue.
That's right.
It's got a flesh-colored hair now.
Well, there's a lot of firsts going on for this
Yeah.
podcast then. All right. So, like I said, you guys have played for so long, and this is a little bit different of a podcast for me because of that. I'm not saying, hey, when you joined this band, what happened? And you joined this band. So I wanted to go through some.
But
sort
we did change a lot over the years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to
Which
say.
is almost like new bands, but
You kind of reinvented yourself.
exactly.
And
yeah.
so when you first start out, bluegrass, country,
Country.
what does that mean? What
Well,
songs are we talking about?
You have to remember the time. Remember Urban Cowboy?
Oh, yeah.
That had just come out.
Okay.
So everybody was kind of into this country thing, in the 80s, the
Right,
early
right.
80s. I mean, we'd be at Sherlock's, and the place would be packed with people in cowboy shirts and cowboy hats, and the girls, same kind of cowboy
Wow.
outfits, Western, I should say,
Yeah,
apparel, and they just loved it. I mean, if you would have said to me, and even when I graduated from high school, that I'd be playing "Thank God I'm a Country Boy" at Sherlock's, I'd go,
Right.
"Ain't no way I'm playing that song."
Yeah.
But man, we'd play it, and you throw that fiddle in there, and the crowd's going crazy. I go, "Well, this is a lot more fun than
I swear,
than anything."
that's exactly what Ricky Carr told me. The same thing. He
Really?
said, I started playing out hard rock,
Right.
rock and
Oh,
roll,
yeah.
and then these guys said, "Hey, come join this country band." I couldn't believe the amount of people that came out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's great.
it was a variety of music though.
It
wasn't
was though, yeah.
And when people heard our name, they would always say, "Oh, they play bluegrass."
Yeah.
We really didn't do a lot of bluegrass at all.
No, we did.
There was a
some.
band back in the day when we were in the 80s called Generic Grass. Now that was bluegrass.
Okay,
right.
yeah, right.
But we did everything, Chris. We did
We
everything.
did. Oh, I
yeah.
know. I
We
was
did
there.
like pop songs and Broadway songs, and then we always talk about this. Like 40% was comedy.
Oh, okay.
We
Yeah,
did a
we did
lot
a
of
lot of
comedy
shtick.
too,
Yeah.
which is fun.
Planned out comedy?
Sometimes, and sometimes it just happens.
Sure,
you know?
right.
But yeah, we were all about just having a good time, and
That makes
Oh,
it more
yeah.
memorable,
oh yeah.
you know.
But I think the audience had a lot of fun right along with us.
What was it like playing a racquetball club? You guys
Oh,
played
yeah.
the Forest Hills Club
We
for a
did.
long
Yeah.
time.
Great.
I mean,
Are you too young to have gone there? Or?
you know what? I may have gone there to play racquetball,
Ball.
but
But
that's
remember
about
they
it.
had the
I had a
bar.
little lounge there, right? Yeah.
And they had the glass court.
Yeah, right.
there, right. Well, you'd play right next to that.
The courtroom.
I remember Tim McLaughlin was in the band at the time. He put a little more of a rock twist into the band with his leads.
Sure.
And I remember Tim had to stand under the television.
Oh yeah.
So
there was this
television was
huge
hanging
TV.
from the
And that's when they
ceiling.
were.
Yeah, right.
Big
Yeah.
tube and everything.
But
But
it was a small room, but a great crowd and
we
very
used to have a
nice-
great time.
Very nice people that went there.
Right. And that's the time, boy, we'd get done playing, at 1:00 or 1:30. But we'd just stick around. I remember Dee Dee, the bar manager,
Yeah.
and we'd all stick around, and then we'd play volleyball on the glass court. We'd be getting
Really?
home and the sun would be coming up.
Oh, really?
And then when you're young, you can do that.
Sure.
you know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But those were.
How about those 10 to 2 at Sherlock's
Oh,
Wednesday through Saturday and having to get up the next morning on.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
did you play a lot of those
We did.
extended engagement?
did.
You're playing this day to that day. You did. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it makes it easier for loading in and out all the time.
Right.
But,
right. Although we didn't have a lot.
No?
We could probably set
Equipment?
up in maybe
No.
15, 20
Our-
minutes. Yeah.
Our PA system wasn't that.
No, we'd fill the place though.
Extravagant.
No. And I'd go past Sherlock's and see a band there early Saturday afternoon, spending all
Setting up.
afternoon setting up. I'm like, man,
Sure. Yeah.
I'm glad we don't do that. We just come in.
You didn't have the giant cabinets and all that stuff.
We did
right?
later.
Yeah, right. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
All right.
and we've since gotten rid of those too, because nobody wants to carry them anymore.
Well, even not having a drummer, that makes it,
Right, right.
faster.
Right.
All right. So where does, I was looking at some of the early members. So it's the two of you and your brother, right?
Paul.
And Bob Martin.
And Bob Martin.
That's the original four.
Right. So how does Bill Tuberson fit in?
Well, brother Paul left to do acting. He got in with Kenley Players. I don't know if you heard of them.
Sure.
Over there.
Yep.
Got his equity card. And while he was gone, we wanted to keep playing. And I don't know, how did we get Billy's name?
I'm not sure.
But your audience can't see this, but that's his pedal steel right there.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, he keeps it here. And in fact, I just talked to him today. He's going to come and we're going to do work on a song.
Oh, cool.
This week. But so he was only with us maybe a year though.
He was only with us about a year.
Okay.
Right. And then
And then Paul came back.
right.
And then Paul left
again.
Paul left again.
Yeah. I was going to say,
And-
this is going to be a
and then
long conversation, isn't
Yeah.
it? I mean,
and then we had Joe Zalick and Mark Flanick. Now, Joe is the best banjo player in this area, if not.
Yeah.
so you expanded.
And
or no?
Mark
it was
played
still
slide. What was that called?
lap steel.
Lap steel, sorry.
Right. Yeah.
So he was the other guitar player, but he was playing banjo sometimes too.
No, Joe always.
Joe was the
always
strictly banjo.
Although Bill played
Yeah.
banjo sometimes
All right.
with us, and the pedal steel.
All right.
But each one. What's neat is we still had our core, but each one brought a different dimension.
Okay.
And a little different thing, so it would just pull us one way or that way. But
Yeah,
all in
yeah.
all, we just kept it going, and. That was it. And then
And then Tim came on board.
right.
Tim
And
McLaughlin.
after Tim came on board, Tim McLaughlin, because of his rock, his lead guitar, then we thought, oh, we need a drummer. We really need a drummer.
Well,
so
I
then
think-
we added a drummer.
So Tim ruined it for you, is what you're telling me.
Oh man,
Is that it?
this got bigger and bigger.
Boy, did
No,
that added a lot more different
Sure. Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
another
Right.
dimension
Absolutely.
there.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think
And-
it was because
yeah.
we did Pump Boys, and we were
Yeah.
playing with Jim Griffey,
And Jim
from the
Griffey did-
Playhouse.
yeah, Jim
Yep,
Griffey
drummer,
was our
and,
first
and
drummer.
Yeah, and then we just got used to that, and then it
Yep.
just kept
And
keeps morphing into something
Yeah,
else.
the drummers came and went because we had Scott Twist was, I think, our longest
Right.
drummer, and now presently we have Tom O'Cam as our
Right.
lead guitarist, John Caruso on drums.
Right.
Some
And
serious
I think
players.
the jobs also, I don't know about you, but and again, like playing. Thank God I'm a country boy at a bar, and I wouldn't be doing that. And then I thought, well, I don't want to be a wedding band. And then later on, I think you get older and wiser.
You realize how much you can make.
Right. The weddings, you get paid better.
Absolutely.
And back in the day, everybody would be smoking at the bars. You play a wedding, you don't get all smoked up.
Right.
You're done at a decent hour. You usually get to eat and drink.
They feed you. Absolutely, yeah. I've always said, you want to feed us, we're in.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
And so that kind of shifted our music then, what we want to do. Go, hey, well, they're going to want to hear this and this and this.
Right.
And so then that's changed us that way.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, 40-some years, you guys, is there a place in town that you have not played? That
Oh,
you would
yeah.
that you would really want to play, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
trying to think.
I mean, you've been on the Warner stage before,
Oh,
probably.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
you played Denny Brandel's house.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really get much bigger than that.
We played a lot of people's houses.
You played Commodore Downs.
right.
So
Yeah.
at the Warner, I know you opened or backed Marty Robbins.
Marty
at
We
once.
Robbins.
open for
Opened
him.
for him.
And Ray Stevens.
And
as
Ray
well,
Stevens.
yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
How
They're
were
two
those
different-
experiences? I've played on a Warner stage once, and it's just amazing.
Yeah,
That was fun.
It's a great stage. The one for Marty Robbins, we brought our own PA, and it was just a little one. It was the little one we used, and he was just going to use the house.
Okay.
The house.
Sure, yeah,
Not,
the
they didn't bring
speakers.
it-
Yeah,
the
right,
speakers
yeah.
in the house. I go, well, I don't want to leave it to that. So we came out, and of course they're great musicians and
Right,
everything.
right.
But I guess after we got done, they thought when they came on, it seemed like a little flat.
Yeah,
it's like
right.
we had this even with our little PA. But
Yeah, but
the
still.
Warner is so good.
Yeah.
We did get compliments on that PA a lot, Chris.
Yeah.
Huh. Did you have a sound man?
No,
No,
never.
did?
We still don't.
Never, still
No,
don't.
never
Okay.
have had
No,
one.
That's unusual.
Yeah.
Chris does sound on the side. We
Yep.
put the
Right.
table on the side.
I
of
put the
him
main
and-
mix through my monitor.
Okay.
So
yeah.
that's all I'm listening
Yeah.
to.
Perfect.
And I just have to kind of bite the bullet sometimes to make sure I'm not, because you want to hear yourself. But
Right,
I know
right.
If I get too loud, then I'm going to be too loud in the mix. But
Right.
Just a really quick story. Ray Stevens then was after Marty Robbins, and we had a picture taken with both guys, because it was fun backstage, and Ray Stevens was standing there, and Marty Robbins had since passed, and Ray goes, let's just stand over here, and we stood, to get our picture taken. And I go, before they took the picture, this is where we stood for Marty Robbins, and he just looked at me and he said, "Let's move over here." So I'm like, okay.
this might be a bad
Yeah,
sign.
that's a bad sign. Yeah. Were there other big names that you opened for or played with? over
No,
the years?
I don't remember
so.
any.
Like Erie Days, anything like
yeah,
that?
I mean, I always wish that they would have asked us to do some cool gigs like that
Yeah, not really.
for the festivals, but yeah.
Yeah, we played for
okay.
Ann B. Davis.
Oh,
really?
yeah, we did a party
Yeah.
for her.
Well, yeah, it was for the Playhouse,
Mm-hmm.
and it was at Merwin's.
Merwin's.
They were doing a fundraiser.
At their home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she was there and super nice.
Super nice. She was very gracious. Yeah.
So that had to be close to, her.
Yeah, it was,
I mean, she was probably up there in age.
yeah.
About-
She had already done,
Brady Bunch.
Brady Bunch, right?
Right.
Yeah, and then Mount Gretna was cool. We did a run.
yeah.
They moved us to Mount Gretna It's almost like a little mini Chautauqua
I was going to say, yeah, I don't know what
to
that
do
is.
Down
Pump
near
Boys
Hershey.
and Dinettes.
Okay, all right.
And it was pretty cool because Jamie Farr and Loretta Swit had just gotten done doing a show there. So we worked with those people and did a run of Pump Boys for a couple weeks. And it was nice because we brought the kids and had fun staying there and doing the show.
Talk to me about how that evolved. The first Pump Boys, you did it at the Playhouse. It was the full band. Tim was in the band at the time.
Right. He played Jackson.
That's a huge undertaking. Was that something you initiated?
No,
or?
Bob
did.
had seen it, off Broadway. I believe it was, yeah.
And it was pretty new at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually slated as a Broadway musical.
Yeah, but and he goes, hey, we could definitely do this, And we just changed around. His character would have been the guitar player, and I played the guitar, and he played the bass, so it didn't matter. But
sure,
but the same people
same
people are the musicians and singers, dancers, actors.
Right.
They're all on stage and doing
one half
everything.
the stage is a gas station, the other half is a diner.
Okay,
and then they just interact with each other, and it's just down how it almost got kind of a cult following of people that would go see it.
Yeah,
that they
played
just
for a long
loved
time.
it. Oh yeah, we had people that from Chicago, and they'd seen it up there, and they came to the Playhouse, and we just have to see it again. They just want to see that show, kind of like Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Sure, right, except they didn't throw things at you.
Yeah, no.
Right, yeah, no. Right. Hopefully, yeah.
So, and then we just kept doing it. We just kept putting it back together.
And so you guys were working in conjunction with the Playhouse? Like Bob was involved with them? Or
well, he just pitched the idea to him.
Okay.
And and they said, yeah. And,
all right.
Had real good runs there. We had we did it. Geez, we did that show at the Asbury Barn. We did it.
We did it.
We
all
actually
over the
did
place.
it for Arts Festival.
Oh, okay.
On the stage.
Yeah.
For that.
Some corporation hired us to do it for one time.
Really?
We've done it so many times.
Was I there?
Yes,
that's what I was
you
going
were
to say.
there.
Yeah.
There have got to be gigs that you guys, one of you have forgotten, and the other's like, we played there?
Yeah.
I mean,
oh, yeah.
Your memory's better than mine, Chris. I don't know.
But
anyway,
that's
that show, I have to say, I enjoyed it so much. It was so much fun to do that. I mean, I always wanted to do that on stage, like dance, sing, act, and I got a chance to do it. And I want to do it again. I really want to do it again. So,
did you ever do any other acting or anything?
I was in the Playhouse pit playing the violin for so long, and then I got on stage during the show Gypsy.
Okay.
And I was so nervous, but that was my first day. That was my debut.
Yeah.
So I was just a Tori Adorable, and I was one of the Follies girls, and I can remember David Matthews saying, looking at me during notes, and he would go, "You need to smile." and so like he was on stage for the show playing piano, and I was off stage ready to come on, and every time I was ready to come on, he would look at me and go, "Smile." Like he would get this big smile.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite memories of David Matthews.
And Chris, did you continue to act?
Not as much. Once the band got pretty busy, other than Pump Boys, no.
Yeah, we
prior
were
to that,
pretty much
I
done.
did.
We were too busy to do any more shows at the Playhouse. So.
What is busy?
Oh, God.
How often in a month?
Every
let's say?
weekend.
Every weekend.
Oh,
yeah, because if it wasn't, the band, it would be, like on a Saturday, we might do 2 wedding ceremonies.
Okay.
There were some Saturdays we did 2 wedding receptions.
Wow.
Yeah, 4 hours, tear down, go to the next one and do the next one. And you're pooped by the end.
Yeah.
But
I was looking
and then
at
raising the kids. It's hard to get in shows.
Well, that's what I wondered.
Yeah.
And I was looking at some of the past ads where I would see, because I do research on the database for the library and everything, and it seemed like something happened to you in 1982. Like you had much fewer gigs.
Really?
Is it just my research was poor? Like the kids weren't born around that time or anything?
No.
You didn't stop playing?
No.
No.
I can't think of
All
why.
right.
Seemed like we were busy.
Oh, we started doing like a private circuit too, so that stuff wouldn't be advertised. We were
Right.
doing
Right.
Yeah,
a lot of private parties. People would see us out, and
the clubs, like Kakwa and Lakeshore.
Oh, okay.
Those
All right.
kind of things. So
I saw one.
that's the only thing I can think of.
I saw, you mentioned, Julie, the different types, how the band kind of evolved. And I saw a weird ad. This is just, I randomly came across this. In 1981, there was an ad for an outdoor concert at Mercyhurst, and it listed you as a jazz concert.
yeah, I think
do
I remember that.
too.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
Okay, so you
We
didn't
probably
switch to
no,
jazz.
No, we never did.
Okay, all right. I wondered it because when you said we switched a little bit, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe they went jazz.
Well, I'll tell you, at Mercyhurst, we've had some really different jobs there. They always used to do the 4th of July.
Yeah.
So sometimes we'd play for that out at the Northeast. Well, we did both campuses.
Yeah.
But they have, they do a lot of like law enforcement type.
Because of their
No,
program.
their programs. They have like FBI type intelligence kind of courses, and there was a we played for. They had a seminar there that was a week long for these guys. They're from all over. And it was a weird job because we're there. And, it's only guys, and we're like. Well, they're not going to dance.
They're not going to dance. Right, yeah.
But it was one of those things. So,
They just wanted music, live music.
So, well, what do you guys do? And it was like, well, if we told you, we'd have to kill you. Kind of thing.
Well, they used to be really. They were hosting music in that grotto area.
Right, grotto. That's where we
outside.
were. Yeah.
okay.
They would
At
do a
Mercyhurst.
concert series.
Yeah,
there.
that's right.
I don't know.
That's probably where they call us.
Yeah, I
jazz
don't
or
know.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
if they do that anymore, but that was
I don't
really
know.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the questions I always ask everybody is, so weirdest gig,
Right.
strangest gig that you remember.
Wow.
Anything come to mind, like off the top of your head? Like if your kids were young and said, where was, one that you played that was really...
I mean, I guess it got rowdy at one party. I'm not going to say where.
Oh, he already did.
Well, I don't really want to mention
A private
the name.
party.
A
Yeah.
private party,
Yes, yeah.
and people were
in
fall-
Harbor Creek.
I got you.
Yeah, I mean, it
In
was
a White House.
Yeah.
With pillars. Yes.
people were fell into us, and
Okay.
I had two guys stacked on top of me, and Chris says all I can remember is your arm holding up your violin in the air. And then
Everybody-
at that point, we said we're
done.
stopping. And then the host said, "Oh," he goes, "No." He goes, "Let me put my softball team in front of you." So that he actually it was
Like
his
a
whole softball team was there,
Right.
and he
They were
lined
security.
them all up in front of us, and we finished the gig.
Okay, well, that's odd. Yeah. People falling into musicians is not odd.
No.
But a softball team of security guards is odd.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So we had them in front of us, then we finished the gig. So.
Yeah.
Aside from Pump Boys, favorite gig?
Oh.
Follow the Star.
Yeah, I do. I enjoy
Christmas?
Follow the Star.
Our Christmas tour is just
How long you been doing that?
amazing. 2009.
Yeah, we
Okay.
started in 2000, and we had to take the last 2 off
Okay.
because of COVID.
And tell folks about what it is.
It is a Christmas concert. It actually, have you ever gone to see Peter Mayer?
I know who,
Okay,
Yeah.
that show.
Right.
And then, and we loved his show.
Right.
I mean, and we'd go almost every year. And then I said, we could do something like that. And we wanted something for the band to do because corporate parties started, Christmas parties started dropping way
Right.
off,
Right.
People don't get
economy
married
and
during that time usually.
Right.
Oh, right.
So we were trying to think of some way. And
To pay the bills.
right,
Yeah.
That was
hungry
a-
mouths
that's
to
right.
feed.
That's right.
Motivating factor.
But and then I started writing this song, and
He started writing a lot of songs.
well,
It's a
the
lot
one
of
was
Chris,
"Follow the Star,"
Yeah.
but usually
Chris
I write everything I
compositions.
write. I usually write in her key.
Okay.
Okay, but this was going to be a guy's key, and I said, "Hey, do you think Sam Hyman would want to do a Christmas show. She goes, well, why don't you ask him? And we only knew him. He ran sound for a concert that Julie did at the Playhouse.
Okay.
And he said, yeah, sure. And then the rest, then I just kept writing and.
So it's all original
It's
Christmas
all original or
music.
original arrangements
Okay.
of some familiar tunes.
Right.
Oh, okay. All
Most of them are originals by Chris.
Right.
Yeah.
And, 3 CDs worth later, that's,
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
all for Follow the Star. And it's been nice that we have our radio show because we've been able to play the show
right
on our Next to You show.
Where did you perform it?
We took it around to all the churches. We wanted it in a church.
Okay.
We did do it at the Playhouse, but it just didn't have the same feel.
Yeah.
Because we'd set up on the altar, and just one show in each church, which is hard.
Right,
We were
right.
setting up all this sound, all the lights.
Yeah.
One night, and then we come back and do the show, tear it down that night, and then take it to another.
Sure. Yeah.
And so that got
It's
a
a
little
very
rough.
spiritual show, and the second act is more fun. And then
Right.
at the end, we bring the real meaning of Christmas back by doing a reprise of some of those spiritual songs that really
Okay.
bring home, that's what Christmas is, And we
what
get a lot
is-
of people commenting on that.
How big is the band at this point?
Oh, it's not
this
just the
is-
band.
this is different.
This,
Yeah, a little different.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the band plus.
Plus-
It's usually casting
14 maybe?
Yeah.
Oh,
13,
okay.
14 people. Yeah. We usually get extra violin or cello.
Yeah,
and,
we have auxiliary players.
brass,
brass
sax
player.
player. Yeah, of some sort. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We had
Phil Potnick
Phil
has done it with us in the
Awesome.
past. Yeah,
Right.
different ones that we've worked in, and
lots of
Phil.
people have gone through that
Yeah.
too. It's
Yeah.
been fun.
but it's nice because, they're coming just to see that show.
Sure.
And paying attention as opposed to being, those gigs where you're just kind of background.
Your background music.
Right.
Yeah,
in,
sure.
in a bar somewhere. It's
Right.
like nobody's even listening to us.
Right.
Why are
Right.
we even playing?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And it's just it's such a gratifying
Very
is.
feeling.
rewarding.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah, definitely. And
We've been able to involve all our children in it too. Becca, our daughter Becca, who's in the Rooftop Project,
Right.
she's been in it every year. And
Okay.
She sings in it
I'm
every
sure
year.
she'll continue.
Yeah.
All right.
And and our daughter Catherine ran lights, and our son Nathaniel
Percussion.
percussion. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, he's a drummer.
That's what I was going to say. Are
Yeah.
all the kids musically inclined?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Was that their choice?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
Was it? Okay.
Well,
yeah.
it's kind of there. So
Yeah,
there was
right.
Just,
Yeah.
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 Our granddaughter Pete's daughter
yeah,
Lily was
yeah. She was
in it for a
She
little
was in it.
bit.
We
You're
always
including
have-
everybody.
Oh yeah, we
Oh,
always
yeah,
have
we're
a
trying
little
to-
kid in it. So.
That's great. And you said there's 3 CDs?
Yeah, 3 CDs
Okay.
worth of music.
That's great.
Yep,
Yeah,
they
there's
can
like,
be found on music streaming sites.
There might be like
Follow
two
the Star.
covers. One, A Baby Changes Everything. And everybody goes, "Did you write that?" And I go,
I wish.
No, you just tell them, yes, I did write that. Yes. Don't look it up. Yeah.
But and people can listen to that anytime. It's they're all on the streaming.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we also
iTunes.
did a CD back in 2000 when Paul Gall was our bass player. And that's all originals, and it's just called Children of Song.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And that can be found as well.
That's the one that has your pictures as kids.
Yes,
Right.
kids,
And-
yeah.
Right. Right. Gotcha. Okay. And
Yep.
you two, aside from Tennessee Back Porch, you did a duo for a little while, right?
Oh
Yep, we're still doing it.
Are you?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Is it called? What's it called?
It's called Chris and Julie Moore.
Well, it was a parent.
A Parent.
You saw that?
Oh,
that was,
you
that was a
saw
long
that.
time
Yeah.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. I mean, did
Yeah.
that last long or?
No, not really. Not a
I
parent.
like that name, Chris. But
No. Get it? A
but-
parent.
A parent.
Got it. Got it.
But yeah, we do. We used to do that a lot at the yacht club and things.
What was the genesis for that? Easier to get duo gigs? Or?
Well, it's that, and
Now for sure that's the reason.
For sure.
Yeah,
We're
it is
we're doing a
definitely
lot
easier.
of dual gigs.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or was it we were together and we were wanting to play more, and sometimes it was tough to get
Everybody together.
a bass player, wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
Bass players are a problem.
They are.
They are.
I'm not sure. I mean,
There
we were
was
doing
something-
a lot of wedding ceremonies, and then people go, "Hey, do you do cocktail music for receptions?" And we're like, "You know what? Yeah,
Yes, we do.
We could, sure."
We
And
do
so
now.
Then we sat down and put some stuff together, and then we're like, "Wait, maybe we can go further and play out." So we do. We play often, actually.
Julie, do you play guitar too?
Only for my kids at school.
Oh, okay.
I only know like 5 chords.
So you're primarily violin.
Yes.
And
violin
percussion
and
and-
percussion.
Right,
Yes.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And
Yeah.
Chris, what else? Obviously, you play keys. You
Keys,
play
guitar, but
and you can teach Bob how to play bass.
right.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And just self-taught on all of those.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. That's what I was going to ask you because we
Yeah.
never touched upon how you got
Yeah.
involved. So just self-taught.
Self-taught on
All right.
all of them. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I had 1 year of piano lessons.
Oh, okay.
I think it was about a year.
Piano before guitar? Was
No.
that your first instrument? Or?
Well, I was playing guitar first,
All right.
I never took lessons on that, but
all right.
and we bring it up on our show quite often. The people, our guests, will say, what was your training or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Most of them are self-taught.
Oh, yeah.
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 That's why, I think in chords, and,
Right.
and harmonies that way. And Tom O'Cam, he took lessons. I think he thinks in scales,
Okay,
all the
gotcha,
different
right.
types of scales, and that's why he's so
Right,
good
right.
at lead.
Yeah.
I couldn't do a lead probably to save my life, but
All right. So you're a rhythm player.
yeah, you
through
rhythm
and
all
through.
the way. Yep.
Yeah, because I always talk to a lot of the folks on the podcast and ask them where they learned, and oftentimes, Keith Pacheco comes up a lot of times.
Oh,
or,
sure.
I interviewed Tony Stefanelli, and
Oh, yeah.
there are guys that took lessons from Tony. And then Tony would talk about who they
Yep.
took lessons from, and Basil and
Basil.
all those folks.
Basil.
And
runs
Most of our
Eddie.
bass player
Yeah.
were Basil trained.
yeah, it usually goes back to Basil.
Wonderful teacher.
Yeah.
Right, right. And so we are sitting in your attic that
Right.
looks like a studio. And
Yep.
so our conversation earlier was I was at your old house years ago to record. So
Right.
how long have you been doing? Is it a studio on the side or?
It's mostly just self-serving.
It is?
but
Okay.
I do. If anybody wants to come in,
Okay.
I'm happy to
Right.
do it. Actually, when we were on Chelsea, I built a little 12 by 12 shack in the back, and we recorded there.
Because that was only a
Oh,
2-bedroom
yeah.
house, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Small, just like this one.
Neighbors loved you.
Oh, they couldn't tell.
They couldn't tell.
No,
Okay.
no. My neighbor that was a carpenter. When we got all done, he goes, "Man, this is like a vault."
Is it?
Yeah, it was just all insulated. But we did many, many recordings there, and
Interesting.
so we've
Well,
always
you've
had
done
it.
a lot of remote stuff. He used to do
Oh, yeah.
high schools and all those PMEA district concerts and
I used to go
choral
around
things.
and
Oh,
district
okay.
choral.
Gotcha.
He used to do all
Recording
those.
all them.
Yeah, he would
yeah.
go remotely and.
Oh, all right.
and,
That was with the ADAT, so I could take an ADAT. with
Yeah,
me
yeah.
and just
that was a big thing for a while. You were doing that.
yeah. No, those are enjoyable.
And Julie, you mentioned day job of a teacher.
Yes, I work at the Barber National Institute,
Right.
and I have a multi-handicap classroom. It's a approved private school called Elizabeth Lee Black School.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
And I use music all the time.
How long have you been doing that?
Oh, gosh, like 14 years now.
Okay.
And then before that, I was a teacher at St. Jude School.
Oh, great.
And I was doing a lot of subbing in between there, too. So,
And
but
you're
raising our children for like 11 years and doing like a daycare preschool in the home. So
Oh,
I
you
could be
were.
home,
Oh,
home with the
okay.
kids. And
Yeah.
I ran it like a preschool, and it
Gotcha.
was fun.
Chris?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
how about you? Day job?
I've been an ophthalmic tech for 41 years when I retired, and but I go in every once in a while when they need help.
Okay. All right.
Now, I retired back in June,
All right.
But I just go in, when they need, if somebody called in sick or something, and I'll go in and help out. But
now it's music whenever you want.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So,
and the band, Tennessee Back Porch, is still together.
We are. We're working in a new bass player right now.
Okay. Like I said, those bass players, they're a problem.
They are.
And so, where do you guys play nowadays?
Well, that's just it.
We already
a
have
different
a,
we haven't been.
It's a different city, isn't it?
It is.
we already
been
have a
pursuing
gig.
it. Yeah.
We already have a gig.
Oh.
Labor Day.
Back down.
At the beer garden.
Oh, cool.
Oliver's Beer Garden.
Great place.
That was our last gig, and actually we were trying to figure out with everybody who felt comfortable coming into winter. That was Labor Day last.
Right.
That wanted to play inside.
Yeah.
And then of course we had the problem with Bob.
Right.
And we just said, okay, we'll just
take a break.
Right. And because we weren't sure we wanted to be in close proximity to a lot of people either.
Right.
But now I think things are going to really open up this year.
We should point out we were talking about Bob Raphael, not Bob Martin.
Right. I'm sorry.
There's no problems with Bob Martin.
No,
not at all.
We all miss Bob Raphael.
Yes,
we do.
Yeah. And so, that's what I was going to say. There's not a lot of places to play for a full band anymore.
No.
Much less for country, bluegrass, whatever, however we're going to define what you guys do. When you play out today, there's got to be people that have never heard of you and are like, wow, where did you guys come from?
Right.
I mean, does that happen?
Oh, yeah. And, we enjoy now. I mean, I guess, you can say we do country now, but, country now is like rock.
Yeah, right. You probably do country and western.
And
both. The real. Yeah, and both.
And and then even for a while there, before COVID, we had 3 brass players.
We had a
brass
section.
We had the
brass
big
section
band
for 2 years.
Oh, okay. All right.
And it was real nice.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
Real good. So we were doing some Chicago and that kind of stuff. Just real different things. It's not. I wouldn't call us. We're not really country. We are, but it's pop. It's
we're going to try to do more originals. That's what we want.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, we're not.
I think
I
it's
don't
what we
think
want
we're
to
going to do as many weddings. We all decide we don't want to do weddings.
We just want to do what we want to play.
Even
we want
though
to.
they pay more, we don't care.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Before it was like, okay, we want to do. We need to do some dance numbers, but. We're like, now we want to do what we want to do.
Right.
And it's going to be more originals and songs that we really like. And maybe they're not danceable, but that's okay.
Right. And the jobs that we like now are, wineries, breweries. It's just a different mindset.
Yep.
We just like it a lot better.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And inside or out, but they're usually outside, which is nice.
And it seems like the folks listen more,
right? Exactly.
Than be that background music, for sure.
At the bar,
right?
And it's just noise in the background,
right? But oftentimes those venues can't accommodate a giant band or a full band,
right?
You have to scale back, especially your drummer.
Oh, I'll tell you.
Usually.
Have you been to Sprague's?
It's our favorite place to play.
Okay.
I apologize to all the other venues, but Sprague Farms, I played there.
The stage is about as big as that drum area right there.
Oh, it's bigger than that. Come on.
It is bigger than that.
It's a good size stage.
Well, you know what, Chris? It feels like it when all 5 of us are.
Oh, yeah. For 2 guys, I could run around up there. It was the biggest stage we played on. Yeah. But for you guys, you're right.
Yeah, I had to watch how I backed up.
Absolutely.
Because,
hey.
But we loved it there.
Yep.
Because, again, they're sitting, they're listening.
100%.
Right. And it's just.
It wasn't just Brian and Minnie, who are fantastic to play for, but the vibe itself was exactly what you said. Like, people were talking, but a lot of people were there to listen. Maybe it was that raised stage, or but it's way different than playing on the ground, on in a carpeted conference room. Right. So
no, it was.
we missed it.
Area. Right. Yeah. Definitely.
So other gig questions.
Sure.
Biggest crowd?
That'd be that Sunset.
Oh, Sunset. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they said we had something like 5,000 there.
I thought it was more like 8, but probably.
Which I don't know. I mean, the PA isn't that big for that
Right.
down there, but
Right.
I hope the people way
Way
down the
way
beach
down
could
the
hear us. But
I mean,
it all depends on which way the wind's blowing.
for sure. Yeah,
it does. Yeah.
I mean, you two have
Yeah.
played for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Stepping out on a stage like that, I'm a novice compared to you guys. I know when I step on that stage for Sunset Series,
Yeah.
the first
crazy,
time I was
isn't
like,
it?
"Whoa, that's
Yeah.
a lot of people,
It
man!"
is a lot
you
of
know?
people. Yeah.
I mean, do
Yeah.
you ever feel that?
Oh yeah. We
Still-
get.
Yeah.
We
It's
get an
wonderful.
energy from it. You know.
Yeah.
It's
And
like,
then
it's
for
great.
one of the Erie Arts Festivals, we did Pump Boys, and there's a picture that they put in the paper, and it said there were 2,500 people sitting on State Street.
Oh, nice.
Remember that, Chris? That was
Yeah.
fun.
Well, yeah, and then they were. I was going to say they were pretty good sized houses for the Marty Robbins and for
Sure, at the Warner.
Yeah.
Right.
and
Yeah.
Ray Stevens.
Did you guys ever play out of town on
Oh,
a
yeah.
regular basis?
Yeah,
or-
for private
Private
parties.
Okay,
things.
all right.
Yeah.
I didn't know if like you went to regular bars somewhere back when you were really starting out.
I
Or not.
don't-
No.
Mostly
No.
just around here.
All right.
The old
And-
establishments like Liberty Draft House. Remember that?
We were just talking about that yesterday.
Were you
really?
I talked
And
about
this-
that with
yeah.
Patty Williams, actually.
Okay,
I
and
told you.
Speakeasy. Remember, now it's
Right.
Chopsticks, but
You're right. The old
Clifton
Manor.
Right.
Right.
Sherlock's a lot.
And we played
Delhurst.
Delhurst.
Oh my
That's
goodness,
right.
Where
Delhurst
was that?
Country
It
Inn.
was right on 20 before you got to.
That
it
was
burnt down.
Okay, so that was then. Let's talk
Right.
about now. What's going on now? The band's still together, but do you have anything else cooking?
Yeah, I mean, we are working in a new bass
Bass player,
player, so
right.
that's going to take a little while.
Who's that? Can you tell us?
We
it a
don't
secret
know.
yet?
Yeah.
It's
That's all right.
probably
Because we're only trying them out. So we
we're
don't
trying.
know.
We're auditioning.
Right.
Okay, that's
So-
fine.
And
Yeah.
of course, this summer we have what was supposed to be our 40th anniversary concert
Oh,
at the Playhouse.
okay.
We had done a 10-year anniversary concert there.
Of Pump Boys.
No,
Or
the
just
band.
of
Yeah,
the
just
band.
of the
Right.
band.
Yeah, and we because we all met there, we like doing
Oh.
stuff for them, and all the proceeds went to them. We did our 20th
Anniversary concert there.
and
Gotcha.
then we skipped 30, and then we went right to 40, and then we couldn't have it, so it'll be this summer.
It's this summer. I believe July 15, 16, there's going to be 2 nights
Yeah.
at
At the
the Erie
Playhouse.
Playhouse.
Right,
Yeah, come and support the Erie Playhouse because all proceeds go to them.
right.
Cool.
And it's going to be, we're trying to get everybody back that's ever been in the band.
How many people is that? I was
I
going to
don't
ask
even
you
know.
that. You don't know?
Oh.
No.
That's
Yeah.
Man.
probably could be 15, maybe 20. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's between 15 and 20 people.
Okay.
Maybe not.
I'll
but-
count
oh,
later.
fine.
I'm
gotta-
going to go, oh man, I want to know how many people.
Yeah.
But
I
it
won't
sounds
ask
like-
you to name them all.
Yeah, it sounds like, mostly everybody's going to come.
That's great.
Right.
So it'll be fun, and we'll work it in. We'll work them all in and say, remember Paul when he played the bass? And
So that's
forth,
Ju-
yeah.
Yeah, Paul.
July 15th.
I believe July 15,
Okay.
16.
All right.
Yeah,
All
it's a
right.
Friday, Saturday.
Well, good.
And then,
And then we do have something exciting for Chris, myself, and Tom O'Cam.
Yep.
We're going to be joining Sam Hyman on his
Oh, on his-
tour
really? Wow.
as
the-
a James Taylor tribute
So
band.
Steamroller has a
Right.
new backing band.
right? Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
excited.
we're just in rehearsal for that.
And tell me, why did he change the name?
He was at Sweet Baby James first, and then there was a gentleman
That
that
already had that
contacted them
Oh,
and said,
gotcha.
"I have that name,"
All right.
and then they changed it to
They came up with
JT Express,
Okay.
and for some reason they wanted to change that again. So it's
Same,
just
yeah.
changed to Steamroll.
Right. I knew
Right.
that. And Dave Blade's still playing bass?
Yep.
Sheldon not there?
No.
Okay.
Tom's taking his
Tom's
place.
taking his place.
But the
Okay.
drummer, I can't remember the drummer's name. We haven't rehearsed with Dave yet, or
The drummer,
It's just we get together with Tom, Julie, and I, and Sam.
And that
And
tour.
Molly,
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of, you go do a show and you come home
back,
every
right,
time.
yeah.
But, he's been out to Oregon, Texas,
Yeah.
Florida, around like that. So it should be fun.
We're
And I
excited.
like the music and,
Absolutely.
and
and
Sam's,
his wife Molly's in the band.
Oh,
She's
okay.
one of the backup singers.
So having a violin in the band will be totally different.
oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's going to be really nice.
Chris is mainly the keyboardist.
Oh,
right?
okay. All right.
And Sam is just so
Yeah.
great to work
He's
with.
a great
Great
to
guy.
work with.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
all love Sam. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, and
I got to get Sam on the podcast someday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd like to do that for you. He, when we started that Christmas show,
Yeah.
he always gives 110%.
He does.
You know, and
Right,
I'm so
right.
appreciative of that. And,
Genuine guy.
yeah. And we just like hanging out with him.
Yeah.
He's good.
Well, I've enjoyed hanging out with you guys today.
Oh, thank
hey, it's
you
been
so
a lot of fun.
much. This
Thanks a
was
lot.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This was fun. You guys, kind of reversed your roles normally.
know.
You're
Yeah.
used to interviewing other people. So
Exactly.
Definitely. You brought back a lot of memories for us, and we thank you for that.
Well, thanks. Good. I'm glad. And I hope that's what we do for everybody out there listening. So I appreciate you both being with me on the Erie Music History Podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. Be sure to listen to Chris and Julie's Next to You program on WQLN NPR 91.3 FM on Saturdays from 6 to 8 p.m. and on Sundays from midnight to 2 a.m. Also, make sure to check out Jack Stevenson's Two-Man Happy Hour podcast for info on who's playing where, today, and when. That's Two-Man Happy Hour, the number 2, manhappyhour.com. Thanks to our sponsor, the JPT Foundation. They have that bingo hall that's available for rent up on West 38th Street. It's also where we host our second music night / open mic night with the local band, the Fabulous Leftovers. That'll be March 29th from 6 to 9. Last time we did that, we raised over $700 for the Second Harvest Food Bank. All the money goes to the Second Harvest Food Bank. Nobody makes any money. So please come out and join us on Tuesday, March 29th. Also, remember, I always post photos of the person, or in this case, the couple that I interview on their episode page at eriemusichistory.com. That's all one word. And if you want to support this podcast, go to patreon.com. That's patreon.com, and look up Erie Music History and pledge a few bucks. Thanks to Ted Gokow, Mike and Marie Miller, Janice and Mark Nelson, and Ed Russell for pledging their support. That's it for me. I'm Chip Shell. Thanks for listening.